Computer. Okay. So super excited. I know that we had another speaker scheduled and she got sick. And luckily, BreAnn, the amazing BreAnn, came to the rescue and said she could do it. I don't know if I totally gave her a choice, but she agreed. But I'm so excited because honestly, BreAnn had shared, I know back in the summer she did a tips from the top for us, but since then she's always like telling me all these super cool things she's doing with her team, and so many of the things I'm like, she was talking about host to post before I even really had heard of post to post, and her team, they're doing that and rocking it. And then she has talked about messenger parties. I don't have no idea what those are. She was one of the first people to tell me about messaging people that view your poll. So she's really like a little social media guru, always doing the coolest, latest, neatest things, and I'm like so behind. And so I'm excited for us to get to hear from her and have her share some of those. So BreAnn, thank you for being on.
Hi guys. Well, you set the bar high enough.
No, hey, I know you have done your story before, so I don't want to make you spend forever, but do you want to get a short-ish version for those that haven't heard it, just where you were before BitWorks, maybe why you joined, that sort of thing, how you got here, just a little mini one, and then we can dive into some of your tips and tricks.
Okay, so before I did this, I was staying home with my kiddos. I had a 4-year-old and an 18-month-old. And honestly, guys, the business fell in my lap. I was not looking for it. I was looking for everything else but this. And then whenever I was looking for ways to make money, like maybe I was going to craft things, or maybe I was going to be an extreme couponer, or I literally did not know what I was going to do, but I knew that I needed to make an extra $500 a month. That literally was what our budget was lacking, was $500 a month. And when I found this, I was just looking to get back in shape after and lose the baby weight. That's literally all I was doing. So I was so excited when I realized that not only were they going to pay me, but they were going to pay me monthly. The first time I was like, sweet, I'm going to spend all this money on myself. No one else is getting any of it. And then I was like, okay, once I realized it was going to keep coming month after month, I was like, well, maybe we could pay off some student loans. Maybe we could start a savings. Maybe we could buy nicer pizza at the grocery store. There were things, I remember my brain just going wild with the things that we hadn't been doing that maybe we could do now. And then once it was $500, then it was oh, but I could make an extra $1,000. We wanted to send our son to a nicer preschool. Maybe we could do $1,000. And then it was well, maybe I could pay our mortgage. Well, maybe I could do that. It was amazing how it started as such a small seed. And then every time I would be like, oh, well, that wasn't terrible. Okay, maybe I'll take the next step. Okay, well, maybe I'll take the next step. And I'm not going to lie to you. I reached places in my business where I was complacent. I didn't have that person that was saying, oh, great, you went diamond, now go double diamond. Okay, you went double diamond, now go triple diamond. I just kind of got there, and then I would look at the chart and be like, well, this is what it says to do next. So I would do it. But once we got to a double diamond, I was like, sweet, this is more money than I ever thought I could make from home. I am just going to hang out here for a while. And I did for a really long time. And it wasn't until I had someone ask me, she said, it was probably after I'd been there for a little over a year. She was like, well, when was the last time you promoted? And I was like, you said what to me? I remember being like, you did not just say that. I am a double diamond. She was a new distributor. I am a double diamond. I remember feeling powerful in that. And I remember later that night, I sat there and I was like, I will never feel that way again. I'm never going to let someone say that to me again. And then I decided I was going to go triple diamond. So we went we went triple diamond. And then I remember we went to conference that next year and I was like, that's it. Like, I remember thinking that pulling Ambassador off seemed incredibly scary and such a long shot. But guys, if you are determined and you get your team excited and you really work on catapulting when you have momentum, you don't ever try and just let it go. Say like, this is great. I'm going to sit back and watch. Like, I'm going to sit back and watch and just see what everybody does right now. You have to be in the middle of it. You have to be the eye of that storm. And if you can do that, you are going to see such growth in your organization. But yeah, so we went Ambassador and we've just been building our ever since. We've been here for like 3 years now.
3 years. Okay. So tell me this, and because I know a little about how you build your business now, but when you first started, what was like the first way? Because I mean, even if you sat at a rank for a while, I mean, you got there, like going diamond, going double. Like, what were some of the things you were doing, Bree, that was just like, growing your team, like getting them in?
In the beginning, I was doing belly to belly. I was doing lots and lots of parties in the beginning. I was a party girl up until triple diamond. I had moved to a new city. I didn't know anyone. Like, there's nothing I love more than when people come to me and they're like, I don't know anybody. I can't do this. And I'm like, me neither. Like, let's talk about that. I had just moved to a new city. I literally had 2 friends and I joined a gym. And I joined a mom's club and I started taking my kids to story time at the library. I wasn't doing anything that I wouldn't have already been doing. But once I realized that like, oh, I'm meeting people, I'm meeting great people. Then I started sharing about what I was doing. And I wasn't brave enough to ask them. I wasn't brave enough to even invite them to things in the beginning, but I was sharing about what I was doing. And I learned very, very quickly that everyone can use an extra $500.
That's so true. I love that. Yeah. Who can't? I mean, I think that would be with this business. One thing I would say, I've made the mistake so many times of prejudging people, like being like, oh, they wouldn't need this business. They seem fine, or, oh, they're well off, but like just in my own head, prejudging. And then before I know it, like that friend's now selling, I don't know, Tupperware or some makeup thing, and going, why didn't I ask her? Like, I just didn't think she would do, like, why would I do that? Because everyone's looking for something. I mean, whether you're looking for it because you're like, no, I need the money, I need that second. Whether you're like, hey, I would like some extra to go on a vacation. Like, you can have great jobs and they're still not extra. My husband and I, we both went to college and we were still living paycheck to paycheck with degrees, before I joined the business, because I was staying home with the girls. Like, and it didn't matter that he had a great job. It's just like expensive, kids, life, and I mean, think of it. John mentioned this to me not long ago. He said, it's interesting because if you ask almost anybody, what is it their dream? What do they want to do? Most of them aren't like, oh, I want to stay at my job the next 25 years. Most of them are like, I want to own my own business. Like, I want to be an entrepreneur. Like, I want to be, it's like we have that in us, men, women. So I love that you said that. Who doesn't want an extra 500? Okay. So that was the beginning. So we know you built with wrap parties around triple diamond. You started doing social media. And so let's talk just some of those things. And I know I sent you a few things, Bree, but I feel like you always just do so many different things. So start with now. What does a day look like, of the things that you like to do, like your 6 list, or, take us through a day of what you're doing to grow your team. Because you're not just someone that hit the top as an ambassador. I mean, you're always a top enroller. You probably were invited to Pam's, call tonight at 8, so yeah, I know. I was like, sorry, Pam. But, so tell us some of that stuff.
Okay. So here's the deal. Especially since I do grow a lot on social media. I want to tell you that I spent a lot of time behind my computer and a couple of years behind my computer. And I started feeling like that was the only way. And that there was no other answer. And if it wasn't going to happen from my computer, that I couldn't do it anymore. I started feeling unsuccessful in just my everyday life. But I just want to say that I still do the same things. I'm still going to the same places that I always did when I grew my business to Triple Diamond. But I've really started being more intentional with my time when I go out in the world. And we have a One Team, One Mission on Thursday. And I have 2 new distributors that are local that are coming. And I think I have 3 or 4 guests that are coming. And I am like beside myself because I was super nervous to invite them. I was super nervous, like to even ask these girls that were local, you know, and I was like, why are you doing that to yourself? You are so much more than social media. And so if you're feeling like you can't get out from behind your computer, you are so much more than just social media. I need you to know that first and foremost, because the tips that I'm going to give you right now are a lot of social media, but this does not mean this is it for you. Okay. You have a great big world out there for starters. Number 1 on your list. But okay. So my days. I feel like social media, we all know that it's ever changing, okay? And we all know that whatever's the latest and greatest is what you need to dabble in. So I'm constantly putting an egg in a couple of different baskets, I feel like. I've got my Instagram eggs where I'm doing my posts, and I do like 1 post a day on Instagram. Like, I'm not blowing people up on Instagram. Instagram doesn't need that. Instagram's full of people who they don't want to see every single thing that you're doing. But with the stories, they do like being stepped through your day because it's quick. It is a swipe, 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 swipe. I know all about this girl. Okay. So I always make sure that I have something running on my story. And you know, I have been doing Instagram polls. I love doing an Instagram poll. I am consistently doing some kind of poll every single day. I'm not always doing a product or a business post. I'm not consistently doing that every single day, but I always have some kind of poll up. I mean, there was a day that I went into Lens Crafters and I tried on like 5 pairs of glasses, and I just posted the different pictures and I let people vote on which pair they liked. There was a day where I went to Pinterest and I pulled up a bunch of different outfits and I was like, which is your style? And I let them vote on that. I feel like sometimes people need to see you as more than just, I mean, obviously they need to see you as more than just your business. They need to get to know you. They need to get to know your style. You know, I have a friend who owns a boutique here in town, and I've been talking with her about it. And I'm like, you know, I love your stuff. I want to come in. I want to play around, and I want to feature some of it on my social media because this is my style. I love your stuff. And of course they thought that that was a great idea, but I get such good interaction when I am more than just business, especially on Instagram. So just know that your Instagram, if you are 100% posting about, just join me, let me wrap you, join my challenge, blah, blah, blah. Like, people don't want that, especially on Instagram. Okay. That is what I'm finding. I'm not claiming to be an Instagram professional. I'm more of a dabbler, but I probably sign 4 or 5 customers a month from Instagram, and many more when I'm being intentional. Because I know that we were first kind of having the brainstorming ideas of it about the time that Charlotte and I went to Surf and Turf. But I had started messaging people that were viewing my Instagram stories. And I was realizing that I wasn't cold to them anymore because they knew what I was doing throughout my day. They knew what I had for breakfast. They knew what I did with my kids today. They knew where I was going. Like I was keeping them updated. And so after a couple weeks of doing that, I was like, they know me. So I started reaching out to them. And the first couple of weeks, honestly, it was a big task because there was a lot of them. You know, on your Instagram stories, if you've got a good following, you'll get a couple hundred views on that. And so in the beginning, it was like I was messaging everybody every day. Like, it felt like it was never ending. But then after a week or so, I was like, no, I'm getting the same people. I had a lot of repeats that were being consistent. That told me who I could be intentional with, that I could look through their Facebook. I could figure out where I need to comment. I could be looking at their story. And I've signed up so many people. I just jot their name down, or I set them as see first on my Instagram. But I have signed so many customers that are consistently viewing my story. And then once I go and I put the effort into getting to know them, that is when I'm really seeing a change there. So Instagram is a staple for me every single day. I am messaging and I am always posting, but it's not like I'm not spending hours and hours doing it, because once you are consistently sending those messages, especially to the ones that are viewing your story, you will find that you don't have as many to send every day, but you have different things to do. You have different things. You're like, oh, I need to interact with this person. This person had a baby. This person is going on a trip, and you get to know it. It's a great way to build a community and to build relationships, because I knew with Instagram, I was missing the forest despite the trees. And once I added messaging, that component, to my Instagram, things really started to change. And I had so many people that were like, I just build relationships on Instagram. And I'm like, I have 7,000 followers. I don't know how you do that. Like, how do you keep track of any one person? And this has been my way of doing that. And in the beginning, it was a smaller scale, but now I have my group of, my hit list on Instagram that are set as see first. And so every day when I see that notification come up, I pop up, they probably feel like I'm a crazy stalker some days, but I try and be one of the first people to comment or like their picture, because I want them to know who I am. And they have started slowly but surely interacting on my stuff too. It's been awesome. I love it. Love it.
Well, I love that, because I want to say with one thing that you said, and I think it's so true. We always hear this, that people say yes to you before they say yes to the business. Mm-hmm. And I think that's exactly what the stories do. And yeah, I think you can do it with posting, but I think it's just, and I don't know, did your team, Alyssa did like an Instagram training I shared with my team, and I sent it to you. I don't know if you posted it on your page, but anyways,
I think I watched that one. I think you sent it to me. I didn't have a chance.
Okay. But I mean, it wasn't long, but one thing that she said was, yeah, just like with the stories, people getting to know you. Like when you do videos, you get more hits. Like it ups the algorithm. So Instagram's happy anytime you're using their features. So it's like, yes, post pictures in your stories, but don't be scared to post a video. A boomerang counts as like a video, and that's going to up your algorithms, which I don't even really know what algorithms are, but I guess it's really good, And so you want that kind of thing. So show people who you are, because I actually thought it was super, like I get like, I have like a high pitched voice when I'm nervous, it gets higher, and I don't even like lives and like videos and stuff. I'm like, oh, I just sound like this squeaky mouse. But I remember one of the first times I did like me and my daughter in the car, like talking or something in the carpool line, and I actually did like a video, and afterwards like one of the girls being like, oh my gosh, your voice is so cute, like you guys are, and then she ended up asking me about the business a little bit later, but going, wow, but it was like, we like reality TV, we like to get to know people. So anyways, show people who you are. I think that's huge. I think so many times people join, and even when you're using social media, they think, I've got to post, join my team and, this and that. And sure, you want to sprinkle in business posts and, product posts and stuff, but don't forget like about you, because they are saying yes to you before the business. So I love how you hit on that.
Can I answer a question that's in the chat really quick?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Cassandra said she's having issues on her Facebook because people are poor with no job and they always tell her no, and she doesn't know where to get more people. Okay. Here's what I want to say to that, okay? Nobody has any money. If you're asking people if you asked me right now, if I'm out on the street and you asked me if I had money, no. Like, I'm not going to tell people that I have money, because then they're going to want my money. For starters, you have to tell them why they need the product, okay? But if it's somebody who wants the business, and I don't know a lot that everybody will promote this, but you know what? Talk to them about pre-selling their wraps. Are they going to do it? No. That's not the point though. Okay. That's not the point. The point is to not actually to help them earn that $99. I mean, yeah, I'm going to give them ideas, and they may have two friends that say like, yes, heck yes, I want to do this. They need to feel more confident in their decision. If they're telling you that they don't have money, they are not confident enough in the decision to either buy from you or to join your team. So what you need to do is work on your relationship building. So I always come to them with the idea of pre-selling. And then it's more, and when they finally say yes, normally they don't even have their reps sold. It's that they have taken the time to get to know me. I have gotten them excited about the business, or maybe they did ask 2 or 3 friends and they got a couple of yeses. Really, they need to borrow your confidence until they're feeling comfortable enough to commit and say, yes, I'm going to either make the sacrifice and skip out on ordering fast food this week, or, I'm going to shake up my bills a little bit and make this happen. But it's all about you. If they're saying no, it might be that they're just not, they don't know you well enough yet. You still could be a stranger on the internet, and you have to take it from being a stranger on the internet to being somebody that they know, and that, like Sherry Lynn said, they're buying you. Okay. If you're telling somebody, I'm going to be there for you, you're going to have a million questions and I'm going to answer them all. Can you close that door for me? I'm going to be there to answer every single one of them. That is you selling yourself, and then be there. Okay. You're selling, you have to deliver. And when you do that, that's going to not only grow their confidence, but then they're going to be able to teach that to someone else, which is just going to grow your team. So that's my say on that.
I love that. And I think that's so true. And I know for me, one thing I learned is when I act like, if someone says they don't have money, I'm like, oh, girl, well, you're in luck. Right now, for the month of March, we have this crazy deal going on. And then I send my little blurb about, it's typically $99. You get your kit with over $99 worth of product, so you start out, ahead. But right now, for the month of March, you also get, and I bullet all those extra things. And so it's over $250 worth of product, really $99. Crazy and expensive. It's the most amazing deal ever. And what I learned is when I act like, oh my goodness, this is so cheap, this is the best deal, people aren't like, oh, well, I still don't have it, they're typically like, oh wow, okay. And I've had people go from saying they don't have the money to joining. And so I think a lot of it is how you say. So when you are because it is a crazy good deal, so when you're you almost make them feel dumb if they don't buy it, to me that helps.
Think about the last time you wanted something. Think about it. And if you did not have the money, what did you do? You figured it out. If you wanted $100, I would figure it out. I would figure it out if I wanted it bad enough. That's just, I don't know if that's just who I am, but that's society. We are a society that spends money. That's what makes our economy work. We figure things out. So we just have to give them to the point of not knowing why they need it and why they need this business to taking them across that finish line.
Yeah, no, I love that. Okay, so we hit on the story. So tell me about, before we do host to post messages, a lot of times people tell me who do I message or who should I reach out to? So I know you're seeing people who view your stories. Is that kind of the main people you're messaging, Bree, or do you have another
Okay, so I have my Facebook list printed. I know y'all have heard people talking about, I print my Facebook list and I work it every single day, and they love it, and I hate it. I hate it. It is so tedious, y'all. I really hate it. But there's a but. It gets things done. It does. And honestly, I'm coming up on 6 years in May. So I've been doing this for a while, and I'm always watching how many friends I have. And right now I've got 4,600. And so that means that I have to go through and cleanse. And it gives me the opportunity to do that and to go through my list and to make sure that either if people are not there anymore, I can get rid of them. And I have messaged so many people who had totally forgotten about me, because they're not seeing my stuff anymore. And I've signed distributors, I've signed customers. Now, do I work my Facebook list every single day? No, I don't, because I do not like it. But I pull that thing out at least once a week. And I'm like, I'm going to do an entire page. I'm going to do it right now. And I will sit down and I will crank it out because it is my goal by summertime to make it through the entire list. So I'm not going to tell you that it's amazing because I don't feel like it is, but it gets such good things done when you just buckle down and do it. Because at the end of the day, this is a job. Okay. I love my job. I really, truly do. I love getting to work with each and every one of you guys, but at the end of the day, they pay me money. And if I had to work a list at a job, a 9-to-5 job, and I had to do this many a week to get paid, I would be doing it. Okay. So I kind of look at that as one of those necessary evils. Like maybe I don't want to, but hey, you know what? You're not always going to want to do everything. You know, there's days that I work that I don't want to work, you know, but I do because I would rather be doing this than anything else. And anytime I feel like I don't want to work today, I think of all the other things that I would rather not be doing. And one of those things is going to work a 9-to-5 job every single week. So I think that it's really important that you know your why. Like if you don't know your why in this business, you need to sit down tonight and you need to figure that out. But I also am really passionate about knowing my why not. Like why am I not going to stop working?
And BreAnn will make you do uncomfortable stuff. Believe me.
I literally will send Sherry things and she'll be like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, I don't care. Go do it right now.
I'm like getting a sweat.
She's like, I'm sweating right now. I'm sweating. I'm like, just go do it. But I don't want to go back to work ever. So this is why I am always going to make sure that I am being incredibly consistent in what I'm doing. I want to be able to take vacations with my kids every single year. And I don't want to have to worry about having a year where we don't get to do that. So I'm going to keep being consistent. And that's what I tell my kids. Sorry, guys. Mom can't do this right now because I have to work. And they understand what that means. They understand that mom working equals us getting to do all of the fun things and me getting to be there for class parties and to volunteer and for practice and dance and all of that. So
I love that. No, so so in between, and I think it's good what you're saying is you might do your Facebook list once a week, but you're messaging daily. It's just you've got your Instagram that you work, you've got your Facebook that you work. You know, someone was asking about host to post, and it's like I haven't done a whole ton of that. Like I've done it before because we made me, but I haven't done a whole ton of it. But I'm actually excited to do it. It's just right now I've been working my polls and Instagram and having people, so it's like okay, let me work this right here. But I've got this tool that I'm gonna use as well. So at the end of the day, it's about reaching out to those people, messaging the people, whether you're building relationship in groups, whether it's, belly to belly and people you're meeting and you're messaging those, or it's your Facebook list. And your Facebook list, what I love about it is there's a lot of warm market in there. And I think so many times we're scared to touch our warm market, but so we want to do all this cold market stuff, but they're both great. Why not utilize those acquaintances and those friends of friends, and ask them or re-ask them because it's been 3 years since you have, as well as, the cold market stuff. I just think so many times people, we neglect and miss out on kind of this like warm market we have right there that would probably host a post for you that might want to order a product. Okay, let's hit on host to post because I know everyone does a little bit different, but what's something that you and your team have been doing with host to post or a good host to post you've been doing? Because I know y'all have been cranking them in with that.
Okay, so I do host to post every single day. And if I reach a point where I'm like, I haven't signed in, like, honestly, I signed a distributor today, but I hadn't signed anybody up in like a week. And I was like, it is March. What is going on in my life? Like at the first 2 weeks of the month, it was like I was enrolling 1 to 3 people every single day. And then I went back and looked, it was the last 6 days. I didn't enroll anybody. And I was like, okay, BreAnn, what's going on? I wasn't doing host to post every single day. And I don't think you need to get 20 host to posts going. I think you need to get 5 going. And I don't think that it needs to be something that you're doing all day long. I think that it just needs to be a piece of your day. And because the reason that I backed off of it, honestly, is because I had some bad days. I had some days where I didn't really get any comments. I had some days where the interaction was garbage. And it's like, I guess it's not working anymore. Like literally, that's what I thought. I was like, I tried changing up pictures and I wasn't getting anything. So I was like, oh, there goes that. I guess I can never do it again. And my cousin Leah, the other day, she's like, are you doing host? I was complaining because I hadn't signed anybody up in a few days. And she's like, are you doing host posts? And I was like, no, I haven't done it in like a week. And she was like, you're crazy. You had a bad day. You need to get right back at it. So I started doing it and it started bringing in the leads. Now, honestly, if I put up, let's say I do put up 5 host posts and 3 of them get no comments, no interaction, no nothing, but 2 of them get 2, 3, 4 comments on it. Oh my gosh. That is amazing. Like why I should never look at that as anything less than that's adding 7 new warm people to my Facebook. And guys, building your warm market is amazing. You want to have as many people as possible that are already interested on your Facebook because number one, let's say you're doing a host post for keto coffee. Okay. Anytime you post about keto coffee, there is people out there that are interested. There's people that are out there that are interested. And all you have to do is, hold on. I know she's on here because I haven't been doing it and it's Becca. Becca, hey, put in the chat what you do when you individually post to someone. Because I want you to, I'm going to try and say it, but I need you to say it better than I'm going to. Because you can set up a post on your social media to only go out. Like if I wanted to post something, but I only wanted Sherry Lynn to see it because I knew she was interested in keto coffee, I can post only to her. And Becca has been doing that and she said it's working really, really well. So she will put up a couple posts a week where she's putting in, just posts out to specific people because they're interested. And we all know that when you are, when people are targeting, like, let's take McDonald's, for example. If I would have seen a McDonald's commercial one time, I never would go to McDonald's. But I literally see one every single time I turn the TV on. I see one every time I step foot out the door. They're on every single corner. I'm seeing it nonstop. So you just have to know that when the more people see things, they're going to be like, oh yeah, I wanted that. Oh, I keep seeing that. And they're not going to know that you're only posting to them. So you want me to post a host post, Mr. Just how do you do the specific post, Becca? Like the specific post. I just want to put instructions because I haven't been doing it, but I think it's such a great idea. But the more people see something, the more interested they're going to become. So if you keep posting specifically to them periodically, they're going to be like, oh shoot, I forgot. I really wanted that skinny coffee. So I really think that is a really interesting component that we could start doing because they're going to see it because it's just going to them. Like they're not going to miss it. It's just them on it. So that's a little bit about host to post, but I think it's great. I think that if you're not building a warm market by doing this, you're missing the boat because somebody's going to ask the people on your Facebook to do a host to post. I asked a girl not too long ago to do one, and I had another ambassador reach out to me, and she was like, this girl that's doing a host to post for you, she's a new distributor on my team. And I was like, well, she's been on my social media forever, so I asked her to host a post. But anyways, if you're not asking somebody else is going to.
That's so funny. That I love that. So for the people that, if there's anyone here that doesn't totally get host to post, give like the sample, and I kind of know what you use, but give a sample of like what you message to someone asking them to post.
Okay, so I had been saying like, hey girl, question. Hey girl, I got a quick question for you. Curiosity is going to kill the cat every single time. They're always going to ask, what's
so
up?
Hey, individual message you're sending to people.
Yeah. They're going to think that they posted something so amazing and I've got questions about it. So they're always going to ask, hey, what's up? And then I say like, I just wanted to see if you'd be interested in getting a free product of mine. All I'm going to do is send you a post judging on who decides to sign up. Then we can pick something out from my stash. What do you think? They say yes, of course. Who wouldn't want free product? Then I send them a post and I have them tag me in it. And before you do this, if you have not actively been doing host to post, set your social media up so that the posts don't go to your wall. Okay, you need to have it set so that you were approving that post, and then because then you can go back, and at the end of the day, even if they have me tagged in them or not, I want to be able to scroll through every single one of those posts. So I go to my pending posts, I look through, because I'll miss comments. And honestly, like if a busy week of them, I will go all the way back and thumb through, and then I will comment on each one and be like, hey girl, I sent you a message a couple days ago. Did you get that? Because if you're not connected to them, they may not even be seeing your message. I'm always asking the person who's posting to tag 4 or 5 coffee lovers, or 4 or 5 friends that you think might love the cleanse, or 4 or 5 friends who might want to grow their hair out, whatever we're doing. And I am also giving them a message to send to a couple of friends that's like, hey, did you see my post about this 2-day detox? I think I want to try it. The end. Nothing else besides that. I don't want them to feel like I'm being an overly pushy person, but I want them to be drawing people's attention to what we're doing. So I'm like, hey, tag 4 or 5 people, send this to 4 or 5 people. That way they don't miss it. And I let them know that the more they do, the more they message, the more they tag, the more work they put into it, the more free product I get to send them. So if you want to earn, and honestly, like I'm sending out a 3 days of greens if they sign 1 customer. I'm not sending out full-size products. Now, if they get 3 to 5 customers, I will let them, I'll say, okay, great. Talk to me about your goals. I'm always asking the person who's posting when I go to send them something about their goals. I'll say, tell me about your goals, because I want to make sure I send you something that's gonna help you get started on there. Okay, well, guess what? Now I know what their goals are. Okay, now I get to put them on my hundreds list and say, okay, Sarah is really interested in losing weight before wedding in October. Then I can go back through and I can make sure that I'm following up with them. Now, if they get a couple of comments, honestly, any more than like 1 or 2, I'm going to message them and I'm going to be like, girl, like, and I always voice message them. I need them to hear how excited I am. Your post is blowing up. Seriously, I'm so excited. Did you realize that you can be the one getting paid on this other than me? Like, I would love to show you how you can be the one to make money off like all of your friends. Like, there's no reason for me to be doing it. I always send them something like that to let them know, like, this is a no-brainer. Like, you should be signing up as a distributor. The other thing is, in my messaging with the people that I'm talking to that comment on the post, I'm always asking their goals also. Okay, because we might be doing a host post about a cleanse. We might be doing it on a fit pack or whatever, but I want to know what their goals are, because if they want keto coffee, I'm not just going to sell them keto coffee. I'm going to try and get them in a fit pack. And I have been selling fit packs like crazy. And the reason is because I'm using them, because I'm getting results with them, because I have my own results picture. So if you are perfect in every way and you don't need results in your life, I applaud you. But you need to find somebody and you need to be like, this is my best friend BreAnn, and look at her. Look at her now after using the Fit 30 since for the last 3 months. Like, you need that. You need this, like, I know this person. If you can't say this is me, you need to be like, this is the one person that I'm closest to in my entire life, and look at what she's doing. People respond to that. You got to have results.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. And some people are asking, what's your 1 sentence about the detox?
What is my 1 sentence about the detox? What did I say?
I think it was with the cleanse one, the thing that you just said.
Well, what did I say?
I'm reading the chat.
What I want to know, if I said something smart, I've already forgotten it. About them wanting to try it.
And that's not me commenting on there, even though it's my name. My name pops up on everything because different people log in.
Well, guys, you're going to have to watch the playback because I literally don't remember.
Hey, that's okay.
Did you see my post about the 2-day detox? Oh, yeah. No, that's literally what it is. That's okay. Yeah, that's what I send out to the people who are hosting the post. I give them something like that. Like, did you see my post about the skinny coffee? I think I want to try it. The end. And then their friends are like, no, I'm going to go check it out. Like, the end. It's so simple. And then it always brings on dialogue. Like, I gave a girl one of those not too long ago. She wanted to try skinny coffee. She sent that message out to her sister-in-law. Her sister-in-law said, okay, I'm going to come meet you for lunch. I need to know more about this. Signed her up on the Fit 15 pack while she was at lunch. And then this girl signed up as a distributor.
I love that.
It was amazing.
So if you're asking me to host a post, you give me something to post. So I post about, the product with the picture, whatever, that you gave me exactly what to post. But then you also give me a little dialogue I can send to a few friends.
Yeah. And I always say, like, okay, bonus points. Like, if we want to see this happen faster, why don't you go tag 5 friends, 5 coffee lovers in this post? And then I want you to think about a couple people that you talk to the most often and then send them this.
Okay. I love that.
I'm basically teaching them how to be a distributor. Yeah. I mean, we're working smarter, not harder. And if I can get, this is teaching social media to work for you. Okay. This is taking social media and at its finest, that people love free things. The power of the referral, like getting referrals are huge. And people love feeling like they're the first to share something. Guys, I put up the most ridiculous post on my Facebook. Yeah. 2 days ago, maybe. That if you type BFF into Facebook right now, and you know what? I see you, Jackie Jenkins, because I found it on your wall. And I reposted it, and it's got like 50 or 60 shares, and it's got 200 and some comments. And they just, every time I get a new comment, I'm like, sweet, somebody commented on my post. I go back and I'm like, another BFF. People want to learn something new. People want to share something. You have to give them something to share, though.
Okay, I love that. No, that's great. So yeah, you're taking it to the next level. And I like one thing that you said was, you said you're gonna have post to post where someone posts and no one comments. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. You have a friend, maybe they don't have as big of a network, but it doesn't mean someone else isn't going to. And then Bree, when they post it for you, are you adding like some before and afters under it and doing things like that? Or are you just kind of waiting?
Yep. I normally give them like a fancy product picture. I'll send Sherry a message and I'll say, I need your prettiest coffee pictures today. Send me what you have. And then I always send them a results picture too. I say, drop this picture in the comments so your friends all know how awesome this works. And then I get on there and I always like post something about loving coffee, like a GIF or something. Like if it's not doing great, I'll get on there and post something funny just to try and pick it back up. But the fact that it's not getting interaction, it could mean that, we all know that if people aren't seeing that people on social media have about 45 seconds to see your post before it's too far down on their list to get back to it anymore. Because unless you're their only friend on Facebook, it's going to be very difficult for everyone to see it. You could have hit a bad time of day for the people. Like I don't typically have them put a post up during the daytime. I typically get them to put their post up at nighttime. I'm going to ask them to post during the day. And sometimes if they say yes, I don't give them the post until later in the day, depending on, I'm always looking at time zones. I want to hit it on the East Coast earlier for me. And then I know if it's West Coast, I need to be sending that out a little bit later because I don't want them posting it at 4:00 when everybody's coming home from work. I want them posting it, maybe around 7:30 or 8 when all of their friends are getting their kids in bed and they're vegging out in front of the TV and mindlessly scrolling for a while.
I like that. That's good. No, I like that a lot. Okay, so I know we're almost out of time, but I want you to hit on one more thing because I wanted to hear about it too. Messenger parties. Are you still doing those? I know you were telling me about those before. or tell about the different types of parties you do.
Okay. Messenger parties. This is a relatively new, always developing idea that I had probably about a month ago. But I really, really like it. I've done it a handful of times over the last month. And basically, here's the idea, guys. When you have a launch, okay, let's say you have a launch party for a new distributor, and you give them a message and you say, send this message out and add them to this event, or download Zoom, and they don't know what Zoom is, and you're them down, and it's like, oh, no, this person can't come because they forgot, or their kid's doing this or whatever. It's like, I just got tired of the craziness of it. Like, there's got to be an easier way. So this is only for 4 to 6 people max. Okay, do not do more than that. I have done more than that. It is not a good thing. I will tell you that the downside of messenger parties is that you cannot mute people. Okay, so if they're being crazy, you can't stop that. So that's why I always like to have a very small group of people. That way I can be like, hey, Sherry, tone it down. Like, I hear everything that's happening in your life, and I joke about it. But you can hit that video chat button in the top corner, and it will give you a grid, I think up to 6 people. It could be 8, but I think it's to 6. It'll give you a grid where you can see everybody at one time. Also, if you have more than that, it gives you like the scroll where it's not, you know what I mean? You have to scroll through and you have to click on the person that's talking, and you don't want them to have to do that either. You don't want them to have to find you. Okay, so when you do this, what you can actually do is we just create the group. I tell my girl, I say, okay, send this message out to your friends. And she sends a message, and I say, okay, at 8 o'clock tonight, we're going to put you in a group chat. We throw them in a group chat. We call it like getting fit with friends or something. I don't know. We call it something clever. It doesn't matter. And we put it in there. At 8 o'clock, we hit that video chat button, okay? They will answer the call. They don't get very many video chats. Like, we told them we were calling, they're going to answer. They answer the call, they show up. So what you can do then is, instead of being on full screen, I always tell people to minimize it. So that way it's up here in the corner. Here I am. And as we're going through the party stuff, I speed through it. I only explain Fit 30. Okay. You're getting all the products in Fit 30. And then I'm going to hit on becoming a distributor. Because this isn't something that I want to keep people on forever. But I speed through all the products. I have them up here, and I'm dropping results pictures in the comments as I go. I normally have another distributor on there with me that's posting the pictures, but we're doing, we go one by one through the products. I'm breezing through them all, and they're posting the results pictures. I tell people to ask comments, and then at the end, we get to actually interact with people. Okay, so it's great. I love this, but also let's say you have a new distributor, okay? And we know that people either are going to be in your business forever, or maybe they're a Band-Aid for a little while, and maybe they don't stay. Maybe this is something they do for 30 to 60 days, no matter how much love and attention you give them. 30 to 60 days is it. But imagine this. Imagine you did, I don't know, 2 or 3 of these parties. You got them to invite 4 people 3 times, okay? You now have access to those people, okay? Not only that, but you have personal access to them, so that way you can connect with them and help them get their 4 loyal customers. If they were local to you, you would go to their house, we would have a party, and you would help them sign their 4 loyal customers. So this is just so much less throwing them to the wolves. It's teaching them how to fish, though. You're showing them a party. You're showing them how to interact with their people. And you're hoping that this is going to be something that they keep doing. And I get, then we have time for questions. I've done like polls, like in the thing. You can set reminders for like the time when it's coming up, like, oh, party's starting at 8 tonight. You put a reminder in there, that way people are getting their reminders. It makes so much sense to me, opposed to creating an event, inviting to an event, chasing people down. Where are your people? We add them in there, and then they're there. And if they don't answer, I at least know who they are. So that way I can follow up with them later.
So yeah, so basically it's a video call. You're doing a video call in Messenger, but while you're on there, because I've done video calls with like 2 distributors and me, and they're on Messenger before just so we can see each other. But I didn't realize. So you're posting photos in there as well. You can do that while you're in there.
Yep. You just have to minimize the screen. There's like a little drop arrow. Take it down, and then I just post, and then they can go back and they can scroll through.
And they can scroll through. And so someone was asking, what's the message you like send like to invite someone to a Messenger?
Okay, honestly I needed to go find it earlier and I forgot to. But it's like, it's like, hey girl, it's like, I'm really excited about, I've got something happening tonight. I'm really excited about it. I only had 3 spots. I want to make sure that you get this. I can't give you too many details, or it says something like, or my friend will kill me. Like, I can't give too much away, but I really want you to jump on and hear more about this with me. It's something like that. The goal is to build mystery. I don't want to tell them exactly what they're coming for because they're not going to show up. I watched a movie trailer earlier, and it was a long movie trailer. And then at the end, I was like, I don't feel like I need to go see it anymore. I think I just watched the whole thing. Like, I know what happened in the beginning, middle, and end now. I don't want to give it all away. You want to keep a little bit of that mystery, because if they know every single thing you have to offer, what do they need to come for?
I love that. Yay. Okay. Is there anything else, little tips, tricks, crazy new things you're doing that you think would be worth sharing? I love it. We've got to hear about post to post. We know you're messaging, you're utilizing stories, messenger parties, anything else?
I don't think so. I think this is what we do. I'm looking at the other things that you put on your list, but no, this is big. This is me, guys.
And I told a lot of my team this because I haven't done this, and I keep telling BreAnn I'm going to do this one day when I shower. But she said, instead of when someone wants more info on the business, she made a video. Do you have that you can post in the chat for people to watch that? I love your video that you did with she does a video. So when someone's like, send you more info on the video on this business, instead of like I send like my 3 massive paragraphs, she sends like a little video for them to watch. And so I love that. That's something else.
And the idea of the video, I will tell you guys super quick, is that you need to overcome the objections that you know they have already. So sorry, I'm trying to get back to it. I have it on my phone, but I don't have it.
I think I have it too. If you can't, I know I've made you send it to me.
Oh, here we go. Nope, they just changed my buttons on Facebook. I don't know what anything looks like. Hold on. No, I mean, it's like you've got to talk about no money, I'm too busy, and no friends. Like, you've got to cover that already, because that's what they're thinking.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I think it might have gone to private. I didn't get to see it.
No, I haven't sent it yet. Oh. I'm still trying to find it. I have it on my...
No, I love that. Yeah, and you hit on those things, and it's like, how long is it? Like 8 minutes? Like, it's not that long.
Yeah, I try and keep it short. We've made some before that are super long, and I want to be able to tell people, oh, Becca, you're on top of it. Thanks, girl. Yep, that was the one. Yeah, no, I've made them before that are a little bit longer, but I like being able to tell people this is super short. And honestly, if I could cut it down from this, I would. But you need to get in there. You need to tell them what it is. You need to tell them what you do. And I need a new one, because when we did this, and this one's a year old, but I said, like, okay, our famous skinny wraps, well, we are so much more than that. And our company has taken a turn to proving that. Yeah. And so I need to do one that explains more, because I think that if people knew that we were more, then that would only be appealing to more people. But nobody has money, okay? You have to address that. If somebody just said to me, like, oh my God, I have $100, I'm ready, I would probably fall over and die. Nobody has money. So you have to go into this knowing that they don't have it. Okay. And you have to build value and overcome their reasons why not, before they even have a chance to come and say that to you. Like, this is why I can't, because you've already told them why they can.
Okay. I love that. Yeah. I like that. And that's what you said. Yay. Thank you, girlfriend, for doing this last minute. So many
You're welcome.
good
For being
tips and everything. Oh, yay. Okay. Love it so much. Thank you. Oh, someone just said, do you teach your nudities to send your videos?
I do. I keep it really generic. I say in the beginning, like, you'll go watch it, but I say, like, somebody sent you this video because they know that you're going to be awesome at this business. And I believe at the end, we even say, like, now go back to the person who invited you, who sent this to you, and let them know you're excited to get started or something. But, like, yeah, I give it to them. It makes it really easy, especially in the beginning when they don't have the words. This gives them the words and it covers everything. And like I said, I try and be pretty generic, but we give 3 different scenarios that are going to pretty much cover everything. So even if you're doing the video by yourself, still say, like, this is me, this is my friend, this is a girl on my team, and these were our reasons, and you can still cover it, because there's 3 of us, and I always get somebody that'll be like, okay, I really related to the first brunette in that, or okay, so let's talk about what the blonde had to say. And I always get people who go back and say something like that, because there's always going to be one of us that they connect with.
I love that. Yeah. So it's an easy way to do that. That's so good. Perfect.
Yep.
Yay. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Thanks, girl.
Have a good night, y'all. I'll get the recording up. Bye.
Bye, guys.